You know, Dr. Jerrica, I love being behind the scenes. I love the time that I have in the green room where we can be very personal and very intimate. And I know you have this wonderful bio. You have a lot of letters behind your name. But just for me, okay, can you give me like the backstory? Like, who is Dr. Jerrica Dodd? And what are you up to these days?
So first, I would like to thank the audience and everyone tuning in. I really do appreciate you staying up late to see what we're talking about. And then I want to also pause and say thank you for having me as a guest on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I really do appreciate that. So I wanted to say those things first. And before I even get into who I am and what I'm doing, I just want to let people know what they can expect to hear tonight. And what they can expect is they can expect to hear the critical asset that a CEO must have. So if you asked, 10, 20, 100 people, what's the most critical, what's the most important asset of a leader or a CEO? I bet you hands down, they are not going to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. So that's what they can expect. The most important asset of a CEO.
The most important asset of a CEO. I love that. That is just amazing. Let me ask you a question. What's your purpose in life right now? I mean, I know people talk about big whys, and that's okay. But what mission are you on, or what's your purpose right now for where you are in your life?
So the mission that I'm on is to empower people to become the CEO of their health. So, obviously you run into people who are the CEO of XYZ company, but how many people truly are the CEO of their health? And the reason that is so important is because, throughout our lives, we make many, many decisions about our health. And those decisions that we don't make are made for us. And so it's so important that people understand their bodies, understand their health, understand their choices, and that they lead the team of their health versus putting that in the hands of their spouse, their adult children, or even their healthcare, their doctors, because you know your body better than anyone else, so you need to be the CEO of your health.
That is so true, and it makes a lot of sense. As Cheryl Diane is joining on now, and Carol's joining on now, and Kelvin, what's going on? Thanks so much for tuning in right now. You're really in for a treat because at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. The last question that I have to ask you is, who's kind of inspired you on this journey that you're on now? Where does inspiration come from?
So I'll tell you that this inspiration came from just my own family in being an advocate for my parents and their health and realizing that as they aged, they really needed to have an advocate and they didn't understand anything about being the CEO of their health. And so as I watched them and walked with them on their journey, I was so grateful to be a part of that journey so that I could advocate for them. But it helped me to extrapolate that out to the masses. Most people don't have an advocate for their health and don't know what they don't know about their health.
Ooh, don't know what they don't know. I can't wait to find out what's up. Tiffany Denise Bell out there in Mississippi. Kim Griffin, thanks for joining. I'm telling you, all in for a treat. We're going to get started. Give me the signal in 5. It's my favorite thing to do. 4. What's up, Eric Watson? 3, 2, 1. It's showtime. We got to get going. I can't. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to inspire. Our mission is to empower. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources, the tools, the expertise, the talent, and the skills that you need in order to execute that big vision that you have for yourself. And I believe you really have 3 visions, by the way, and it takes resources, which means it takes revenue. You have a vision for yourself, how you want to live, the food you want to eat, the place that you want to live. And that's very, very important. But you also, I believe, have a vision for your loved ones. I have 2 sons. I was able to raise them, and I'm blessed. I have a mother that I'm a caregiver for, and it's a blessing to be able to go to the doctors with her. It's a blessing to be able to help get her the things that she needs. So you have a vision for people you love as well, and it takes resources. That means it takes revenue. And then many of you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And imagine being Moses in the Bible. I happen to be a believer. That doesn't have to be your thing. But think about the Bible. Imagine if Moses, who had a big vision that was given to him by God through him to other folks. Imagine if Moses never had a hammer. He never had any wood. There wasn't any nails. There was no team. The vision might not have come true. So here's what I want to let you know. Tonight, this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, we have the one and only Dr. Jerrica Dodd in the house. She's known as the pharmacist late advocate. We're going to talk about that in a minute. What's up, Dr. Jerrica? How are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. You're here with Nancy Alert and so many other folks who are tuned in and watching right now. Look, give us your definition of a CEO. I mean, when you say CEO, what's your definition?
So my definition of a CEO is someone who first is a leader of themselves, but also a leader of the movement, the company, the group, the team, the tribe, whatever it is that they are leading. That's a CEO.
Now you have a phrase that you talk about that we're going to get into in a moment. Her phrase she likes to say is that everyone needs a pharmacist. Now we're going to get into that in a minute, but tell us, what's the backstory behind your business, your pharmacy advocate?
Yes, that backstory comes from a personal experience of walking alongside both my parents, all in the same year. Father being diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma, and literally sitting in the office with him when he got that diagnosis on a Friday before Father's Day. You have cancer. And he was lost. I mean, he didn't know what to ask, what to say. It was like somebody had kind of hit him in the gut. And 5 short months later, I'm, walking beside my mom, who ended up having to have triple bypass heart surgery, which was enough in itself. But she went into that surgery like my mom and came out like my grandmother with a dementia that no one saw coming. And so it was me that was there at the hospital saying, can we get a psych consult because something's wrong? And then 5 months after my mom, I myself had to have brain surgery. And so found myself advocating in my own personal health situation to make sure that we got to the bottom, because it took many, many years to get to the bottom of what was going on, such that I needed brain surgery. So with those events happening 5 months, 5 months, and 5 months apart, I really stepped back and said, you know what? I'm grateful that my parents had a pharmacist, but everybody doesn't have a pharmacist as a daughter. And when I was recovering from my brain surgery, I said, when I get well, I'm going to build something to help patients who don't know what they don't know about their health.
Wow, powerful. Thanks so much for sharing. Appreciate that. And so you have a phrase that everyone needs a pharmacist. Mm-hmm. Tell me what this means.
Well, a lot of times when people hear the word pharmacist, they think of the pharmacist at the corner drugstore that's dispensing their medications, putting the pills in the bottle and getting their medication, their prescriptions filled. However, a pharmacist can do so much more. And I found that out firsthand, as I was saying, walking alongside my parents and then obviously advocating for myself. I was like, people need someone who has education about medications, about supplements, about vitamins, about herbals. They need someone who can advise them and help them even have conversations between healthcare practitioners. It's so often that I'll have patients say to me that one doctor doesn't know what the other doctor is doing, and then patients feel at a loss for even how to communicate with their doctor.
And, I know one of the promises of this morning or this evening, whatever time it is for folks all over the world who are watching, and we want to welcome everybody who's watching on Apple TV or Amazon Fire or Roku. We appreciate you. And all of us that are on social media right now, if you got a hold of this and you're watching, thanks for joining. There's the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is why a CEO's greatest asset isn't what you think. And what do most people think the CEO's greatest asset is? And then we're going to find out in a few minutes, obviously, it's not what we think. But what do most folks think when they think of a CEO asset?
They may think of the physical portions of their business. They may think of their intellectual property as being their greatest asset. But personally, I believe that a CEO's greatest asset is their health. Because if you don't have your health, then what do you have? If you, and it's really, especially for people that are new CEOs or building, it's really easy to put your health on the back burner because you're so focused on what your mission is or what your goal is in building whatever it is, the entity that you're building. However, your health has to be a priority, or it will definitely get your attention down the road.
There's a lot of folks right now that are going, duh. I heard this before, but I guess what I want to ask you is, what's our biggest challenge? I mean, you always hear diet and exercise, you may live a long life, and intellectually they may know it, but what do you think the biggest challenge is behind getting business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, or leaders to really focus in on their health? Why is it we don't do it? I guess that's my question, based on your opinion.
I think the reason we don't do it is because it's not that, unless it's a wake up in the morning problem, then everything's okay. But what we don't realize is what could be smoldering underneath, what could be happening in the background that hasn't come to the forefront yet. And so I think that CEOs and leaders tend to put your health on the back burner, from running from one place to another, from grabbing what's convenient to eat, to drink. I'm amazed at how many people drink these energy drinks, the monster drinks or what have you, and to keep themselves going. And it's like that eventually will take a toll on you. And so I think because our health, especially in our youth, our health doesn't necessarily get our attention. Mm-hmm. And so we tend to ignore it, and we go and we go and we go until our health one day becomes that wake up in the morning problem.
What do you say to the person that says, oh my gosh, she doesn't understand. I don't have the time. I've got so much to do from the minute I get up, taking care of the family, taking care of whatever needs to get done at the office, taking care of my team, checking my email, making sure I'm on a conference call. No, I'm on a Zoom. No, wait a minute. I got to get on a Facebook Live. Wait. Got to check social media. And they're listening to you saying, this sounds great, but I'm busy. And that can't be the first time you heard that. What's your response? I mean, what message would you have to that person that's thinking that right now?
So my message to that person is that, number one, small increments of making small changes can have great impact. And it's hard to turn a Titanic around overnight, but little small changes in that direction are better than totally ignoring it. And consistency with those small changes is important as well. So because we think that we don't have time, but I say that we will either pay now or we'll pay later. And so we have to look for opportunities to make what I call little hacks in our schedule, little hacks in ways to get more movement in, ways to get better nutrition in, so that we're not looking at chronic illness down the road, which definitely lends to a list of medications usually.
Said so well. So if you had to step back before we go to a 2-minute break and say, hey, Shay, here are 1 or 2 or maybe 3 baby steps that someone can take to get back on track. Don't worry. This applies to you if you're a leader of yourself, a leader of your community, a leader of your family. It applies to you. It also applies to you as a speaker, as an author, or a trainer, or anyone who's watching right now. So what are 3 baby steps that we can take so that we can get on this journey? And then we're going to talk about what it takes to even be a CEO, what it takes to even be an owner.
So I think one of the baby steps that you can take is, one, looking for as many ways as you can to support your lifestyle. So if you're on the run and you're eating on the run, what are healthy snacks or healthy beverages that are better for you than not? And so I think planning is really, really important in order to add small nutritional things into your busy schedule. I think looking for opportunities for movement are very important. So sometimes we say, well, I don't have 30 minutes to exercise, but what if you did it in 10-minute increments, such that by the time the day is over, you've gotten in your 30 minutes, or if you did 5-minute increments, you've gotten it in. And then the third piece that I think is really important is you can hire someone to help you figure those things out and also to hold you accountable.
Nutrition is important. What are your thoughts for someone that's listening right now and says, where should I start? I mean, drinking more water. I'm the novice, but I be thinking drinking more water is a baby step. But you'd be surprised how many folks don't really get a chance to drink water.
Right.
What's your thoughts?
I agree with definitely water. We need more water more than anything else. Looking at instead of having unhealthy snacks that may come from a vending machine or sort, but looking at how can you get things that are that I won't say that are non-perishable, but things that can travel well. Things like carrots and celery sticks, and granted, people go, oh yeah, I know that, but those things are very good. Getting in as many vegetables as you can from breakfast to the end of the day. How many ways can you get vegetables into your diet, whether it be a snack or whether it's vegetables in your breakfast omelet? Getting more fruits and vegetables in your diet is definitely a good start.
I'm glad you're out there. I'm glad you're out there as a pharmacist advocate. We're talking to Dr. Jerrica Dodd, who is a pharmacist, by the way. She's also a business owner. She's also someone that consults CEOs. She's someone that's out there in the field every day, and she gets it firsthand. When we come back, I'm going to ask her and dive a little bit into this whole pharmacist advocate and what it takes to be a CEO, what it takes to run a business. She's talking about your health is the foundation, but maybe there's another layer and another layer and another layer. We'll be back in just a moment with the one and only Dr. Jerrica. We're going over now to Dr. Kenneth Thigpen down in Raleigh, North Carolina, and she talks about find your fire. We'll be back in just a minute, actually less than 2 minutes.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you #Next Sister Up. I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Find your fire. So I ask you, do you have a spark or do you have a fire? You see, a spark is something that's fleeting. It goes and comes very quickly. If you think about a match or a lighter, it's something where you get a quick spark and then it dies down. On the other hand, you have a fire that can sustain longer for a period of time. And so when you think about life and business, I ask, do you have a spark or do you have a fire? You see, when you have that spark in life and business, you might like something one minute, you might not like it the next minute. When things get tough, you want to give up. Or do you have a fire that you know that what's inside of you, someone else is waiting for your gifts and talents, and nothing shakes that fire? And you know that you have to continue to feed that fire. Just like when you think about a natural fire, there are things that you need to continue to put in it for it to continue to burn. And so whether that's kindling or logs or dry leaves, there are things that you're continuing to put in it. And so I ask, what are you feeding your fire? Is it a mentor? Is it a coach? Are there books? What knowledge are you gaining? And so I think about these two things. One, you got to love what you do. You have two choices. You can love what you do and do more of it, or if you don't like it, you should probably think about not doing it. And the second thing is quit talking and start doing. And so back in the day, we used to say, don't talk about it, be about it, which means start taking consistent action. And so I challenge you, find your fire, feed your fire, and continue to let it burn from the inside out. It's your girl, Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission, Mary Washington. What's up? Where we're on a mission, Sherry Johnson, to inspire, to empower, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute that big vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. We're talking to Dr. Jerrica Dodd, and we're focused on the greatest asset of a CEO. And she's broke it down and said, Shay, it's all about your health. In fact, she's a pharmacist advocate. And the question that I'm asking her right in this very moment is, what's another pillar? What's another asset that the CEO needs to really be focused on?
Well, the asset that a CEO needs to be focused on is building the wealth that they want to build, but the foundation or the pillar of that, as I was saying, is their health. And that comes from their nutrition and their fitness and their movement. And so as we were talking earlier, and I was mentioning, small changes and incremental changes that people can make, it may seem really simple. However, you must understand that I see people on the other end of not having made those choices. And so when they have chronic illness, and you're trying to unpack 10 and 14 medications and say, how do we get you off of this? How do we get you better? How do we turn back the hands of time, if possible, if you will, such that we can restore health? That's when it's a lot more challenging to do the small things that we can make a decision to do today.
And how do you work with CEOs today? Are you the person that's beating them over the head saying, do this, do that? Like, tell us a little bit about your methodology and how do you go about it? Because one of the things that folks watching may not know is that you work with CEOs every single day. You work with leaders every single day. You work with parents, you work with children to help them really improve in this area. So give us kind of what your methodology is for helping CEOs kind of get back on path and stay on path.
So the first thing that I would do, or that my team does, is we assess, what is your life like? I don't believe that there is a one size fits all. I believe that your life is not necessarily the same as the next person. So we find out, what is your life like? What's your schedule like? What's your diet like? How many servings of fruits and vegetables are you getting? How much water? What's a day look like for you? What's a week look like? And then we try to add suggestions on ways that you can make small changes to your life, not someone else's life. So if, for example, if you are not the one who does the cooking, then it may be difficult for me to give you a suggestion that you should be cooking this, that, and the other, because you don't even do the cooking in your house. So we ask those type of questions. And once you get people making those small changes and they start to see better results in their health, then we go in and look at their prescriptions. What are you on? And unless there are any red flags immediately at the beginning, but what are you on? And what can we start making suggestions to your healthcare team about decreasing? Because really, food is medicine. And once you start making incremental changes to your health, you're going to need less medicine.
So you get involved with helping your clients communicate with their doctor or with their medical team as well, and at least what your view of the world is. And what has been some of the how's that coming along? I guess the question I have is, what happens when there's fighting going on? Is there fighting going on? Tell us a little bit about that.
No, usually we show patients how to, one, record data. Because when you're going in to see your healthcare practitioner, if you go in and you've got data for what your blood pressure readings have been, what your blood sugar readings have been, it's a whole lot easier to have a discussion about your health and what medications are no longer necessary, or what medications can be decreased, because you walk in with data. You walk in prepared to basically have a meeting about your health. And that's what we help our patients do, because sometimes they don't know what to say. They don't know how to even have that conversation with their doctor. Well, we can either prepare them to have that conversation themselves, or we can communicate directly with their physician if they give that consent. We're able to communicate on their behalf and share the data that we teach them how to collect.
Okay. And what do you enjoy most about what you're doing now? What gives you the most pleasure out of it?
I think the most pleasure is when you see a patient say, I think that I can do this. This is really not as hard as I thought it would be, or I feel better. I can now play with my grandchildren, or I can now, not be so tired at the end of the day. Those are the rewards of knowing that we're impacting someone's lives. And not only are we impacting that patient's life, but we're impacting the lives of those around them, because they're feeling better, they're doing better, and they're having a better quality of life.
Ah. And a typical patient that works with you, is this something that's a 1 month journey? Is this a 12-month journey? Tell us a little bit about how that works as well. And the reason I'm doing this is everyone is watching. Sometimes there's episodes where you get up and start getting really excited and pumped up, and those are important. And then sometimes there's episodes where focus on the money is just ching, 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 ching. There's manna falling from heaven. But one of our core philosophies here, Dr. Jerrica Dodd, and this is very important to mention. What's up, Monty? Thanks for joining. Coach Claire, it's always a pleasure. But one of our personal mantra is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. So this is one of those episodes where we're focusing on results in your life that you can control to the part that you can control it. And I believe, and I'm going to ask Dr. Jerrica to comment on this philosophy, but I believe that there are two things you can control. It's said, and I found it to be true, two things you control in life. You can control your mindset, and you can control your actions. And your actions are part of what you do every single day. Talk about why that's important. First, to get the mindset and wrap that around it, and that you don't have to have the belief. And I was talking to someone that the older I get, the more I have to, this is just how things are. There's things you control. So talk about mindset and belief systems, then how that relates into taking the right actions.
Yeah. So your first question was how the length of time that we work with people. Generally, we work with people for a minimum of 6 months, because when you're talking about chronic illnesses like diabetes and high blood pressure and some of the immune disorders, it takes time to see progress in those circumstances. And you want to make sure that the patient has adopted some different habits before you start discontinuing medications or decreasing medications, because you don't want any rebound, if you will. The other answer to your question with regard to mindset, you're absolutely right. In this country, I think that we have some prevailing mindsets when it comes to healthcare. We believe that as you get older, it's just natural that you're going to gain weight, that you're going to have aches and pains. And to some degree, the aches and pains may be true, but there are a lot of things that we can do to avoid the aches and pains that we expect when we're older. Also, I think that with regard to healthcare in our country, we've developed the mindset that you can eat whatever you want to eat, drink whatever you want to drink, and smoke if you want, or vape. And we've got a pill for that when you become sick. So and you don't have to exercise. Do whatever you want. And then when you become sick, we have a pill for that. If we don't have a pill for that yet, Alzheimer's, we're developing a pill for that. And I say that that's a mindset that has to go. But it has to go, because we pay for it when we, run into these chronic health problems. And then I can't tell you what it's like to see someone in the hospital with emphysema, for example, and you go, oh my gosh. But could that have been avoided if we intervened and stopped the patient from smoking?
Yeah, I can hear the passion in your voice. I can hear the belief in there. First, I want to thank you for all that you're doing and making a difference. For those folks that are out there that are listening right now and says, wow, I need to read up more. This is something I need to be aware of. Where can they go? I think you said yourpharmacyadvocate.com. Is that where can they reach you?
Yes, yourpharmacyadvocate.com is our website.
Okay, so what we're going to recommend everybody do right now, and this maybe this is not for you. Maybe it's for someone else. Okay, maybe it's not for you. But I'm going to ask everyone to open up their browser right now, whether it's for you or not. We're going to go see if the website works. Nothing personal, Dr. Jerrica. Sometimes these websites don't work. And then we're going to pull it up. And then if it's not for you, I'm going to ask you to hit the share button. I'm going to ask you to hit the watch party button. I'm going to ask you to post the website there and say your greatest asset is your health. And there's a pharmacy advocate for you. There's a pharmacy advocate. So everyone, let's go to www. Everybody, let's put this in. Let's make sure it works. I'm going to go do it myself. www.yourpharmacyadvocate.com. Let's just see. So can you guys show that? Can we get that up there? Let's just see what's going on here. All right. All righty. Okay. So we're on the site. I think this is this the right site?
That's the right site.
All right. So once we get to the site, let me go to the homepage. I guess I am on the homepage. This is the homepage. Okay. So I'm now on the homepage. Now there's a whole lot going on here, right? So Shay Brown, the busy guy that says, I would always want someone to be advocating on my behalf, right? I mean, I need a fighter. I need someone that's going to go to bat to me. I need someone who understands medicine. Now, I'm looking at this page. What's the first step that you would recommend to someone like myself or someone watching right now? It's like, well, do I get an assessment? I mean, how do I know if I'm a candidate? What should they do?
So the first thing they can do is you scroll back to the top where it says talk to someone on our team. It should that green bar that they can click there, or they can dial that 800 number.
Okay, so you got so they can call an 800 number 855 Safe Med. I see that there.
Yep.
They can click here. Let's click. Everyone, let's click there and see what happens. Talk to our team.
They can fill in their information, give us a little bit.
Now they're probably wondering if they talk to you, is this stuff confidential? I mean, it's not. I mean, I hope it is. I mean,
of course.
I'm just asking. I mean, because you know, people are worried about their data, their health. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, definitely. So this is very secure. I want to make sure we understand that.
Asking for contact information. They don't have to put any health information. And when they call that 800 number, they're not going to be asked for any health information. They are going to be either connected with a pharmacist or their contact information is going to be collected and a pharmacist will return their call and will definitely let them know that it's a secure line. Mm-hmm. And so they won't have to worry about any personal information being disclosed from the website or from the 800 number. And a pharmacist would be able, because most people, as I said, think of the pharmacist dispensing medication in the drugstore. They don't think of a pharmacist as personally working with them. But when you think about healthcare in our country, on average, you get 7 to 10 minutes in the exam room at your doctor's office. And when you go to the retail pharmacy to pick up your prescription, there's a line behind you and you're just trying to get home because you've been in the doctor's office and you're trying to get through traffic and get home. And so it's not really the time that you're going to take to answer or to ask, if you will, all the questions that you may not have even thought about yet about your prescription. But to have a personal pharmacist that knows you, knows your health, that you can email, that you can call, and they can answer your questions because they already know your health as a background. That's what your pharmacy advocate provides for people.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Everyone go over to yourpharmacyadvocate.com. Make sure that you follow the instructions. Make sure you connect with the one and only Dr. Jerrica Dodd, who's doing this. She says she's on a mission to help change the way we view doctors, to make sure that our greatest asset, which is our health, is protected. But no matter where you are, it sounds, and I'm hearing her correctly, at least take the first step and find more information so someone's fighting for you.
Yes.
If you had to mention the number one reason why someone should go do it now, what would you say?
Because they don't know how to be the leader of their health, and we will surely show them how. And we will advocate on their behalf. I even say that if they're on one medication, 2 medications, and they say, oh, that's for people who are on a lot of medications. Nope, we are for that person that's taking 1 or 2 medications as well.
All right, when we come back in less than 2 minutes, we're going to talk to Dr. Jerrica Dodd about the segment. Today is my January 1st. And for some of you who may have heard all this before, this is a good restart. For those that have been saying, I'm going to do it, Well, now's the time. We'll talk about that when we come back. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We're going over to Sean Harper, and Sean Harper talks about the law of capacity. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes.
Hi, my name is Sean Harper, motivational speaker, author, investor. I love investing in people because people have the potential of generating years of dividends. This is my January 1st. And as I'm moving in January 1st, I have to be mindful of the laws, the law of capacity. Now, if you know me, I break all the rules, but I never break laws. If you break laws, laws will break you. Laws are unchangeable. So the law of capacity is that you will grow in proportion to your environment. It reminds me of a story of a guy named Walt Disney. We all know Walt Disney, but Walt Disney started out after a couple failed ventures. He started out with Disneyland, south of Anaheim, California. And he had great success, but he had one challenge. He was landlocked. And so he couldn't expand. And so he secretly, anonymously, began to buy up land in the Orlando area. And he formed shell companies, and he brought 500 acres here, 100 acres here with this company, and maybe 2,000 acres with this company. And he went on, and a investigative journalist caught on to it, but not until he amassed over 26 to 30,000 acres. And now that man, who is now deceased, still has land that's not been developed. His dream was huge, but his capacity was small. One of the problems or challenges that we face as entrepreneurs, as business owners, business leaders, is that we run out of capacity. When there's stress in the business, when there's stress as an entrepreneur, it's usually one or two problems. A, you don't have the systems, or B, you have a lack of capacity. That is a spiritual law. And I often compare spiritual laws or look for evidence of spiritual laws in nature. You take a shark, put it in the fish tank, it gets this big. Take that same baby shark, put it in the ocean, it gets this big. Before you dream, or right after you dream, the first thing you do is you begin to build your capacity. Before you build up, you gotta build down. Thank you. Play to win. Bye-bye.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission. And that mission is to empower, to inspire, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources, the tools, the skills, the expertise that's really necessary to execute that vision for the people you were called to serve. And one of my beliefs is that success is a team sport. You can only get so far by yourself. And that's why Dr. Jerrica Dodd exists, to be here for you. We're going to one of our favorite segments. Of course, every one is my favorite segment, or we wouldn't do them. But this is really one of my favorite segments, called Today is My January 1st. And Today is My January 1st represents that moment where you make a decision. And that decision can forever change the trajectory of your life. And I like to call it Today is My January 1st. Anytime I can make a decision, I either go to the gym or I sit at home. I either eat hamburger and french fries. Ooh, don't say that here. Or I go open up the refrigerator. I get some kale, some broccoli, some avocado. If that sounds good to you, and some celery. Come on, somebody. And we're in the same place. So my question over to Dr. Jerrica Dodd is, when you hear the words, today is my January 1st, tell me what that means to you and what you're hearing.
So when I hear the words, today is my January 1st, I hear it's not too late to recommit and to start again. Sometimes when we make resolutions for our health at the beginning of the year, we have all these grand ideas of what we're going to do, but as humans, we're creatures of habit, and just a couple days into January, all of that's gone by the wayside. I think you and I were talking about how by a certain date, people have even forgotten what they've said they're going to do about their health. Mm-hmm. But that January 1st moment is the moment that, even though it's not physically January 1st, you can recommit and start right where you are. The next decision you make, even if you had a horrible, set of meals today, the next meal that you have could be that January 1st meal, where it's a better meal and you start moving in the right direction, one step at a time.
You know, I love what I'm hearing. Everyone do me a favor. Look right below the video. Look right below the video. And I know if you're watching the podcast, you can't do this. But if you're watching online on one of the social media channels, you can look below the video and write, today is my January 1st. Hashtag take care of myself. Put today is my January 1st. Hashtag take care of my health. I should have said take care of my health. Hashtag take care of my health. This is very, very important. Your greatest asset is your health. And this is one of those conversations about you can get it right. And what I love so far, she didn't say go to the gym more hours. She didn't say you had to go run a marathon tomorrow. She never, ever said, oh, just go do some yoga and life's going to be okay. While all that may help, she said, you got to start where you are. You know, we talk about today is my January 1st. I guess my question to you, Dr. Jerrica Dodd, is what was your January 1st moment? What's up, Trinette? She said, Dr. Dodd is speaking my language. She is. But what was your January 1st moment that you made a decision that you were hanging your hat as a CEO and you were going to take care of your health and the health of other folks? What was your January 1st moment? Tell us about that.
So, as I alluded to before, when I was recovering from brain surgery, I made a decision then that I was going to build something that was going to help people. But even, like I said, human behavior takes time to change. And even though I started building, another January 1st moment happened for me when my health started calling again. I was still working in corporate America. This was about almost 2 years ago. And I started falling asleep while I was driving. I wasn't sleeping at night. I mean, just all kind of crazy things were going on. All these nebulous complaints that I had about my health. But every time I went to the doctor, every lab value said, there's nothing wrong. You're just fine. And so it was that point when I realized that I needed to have that January 1st moment. And I left everything I knew in corporate America and became a full-time entrepreneur. It's one of the biggest decisions I've ever made in my life, but I had to make that decision for my health because I was thinking that I'm going to crash and kill myself and or kill somebody else if I keep falling asleep driving. And there was no medical problem that anybody could find. There was no narcolepsy diagnosis. It was stress, and it was time to make a move. And my health was what caused me to do that.
You know, thanks so much for sharing and being authentic. What's up, Saucony Prince in the house? Chrissy Anderson, today is my January 1st. Indeed, it is. There's a number of folks right now that are hearing you. And hopefully they're getting as excited as I'm getting right now because they know there's a pharmacy advocate that's out there on their behalf. They know there's someone they can go to that can help them navigate these waters. But even as excited as they are, someone's saying they're going to plan their lunch tomorrow. I know that might not be you. Someone out there saying, I'm going to the gym tomorrow. This is it. No, that might be you, and I believe you. I believe every single one of you. But here's what we know. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with?
Consistency.
So my question to you then is, what does Dr. Jerrica do in order to be consistent, part one? And part two, how do you teach your clients to be consistent on this journey?
So the way that I support clients to be consistent is to find out what their needs are. Like, do they prefer an email check-in? Do they prefer text check-in? Do they prefer a telephone call? What is their preference, and what will help them be reminded of being consistent in the small changes that they're making in their health? I personally have several people who help me to be consistent. I got a text earlier today or a Facebook message earlier today that said, have you exercised yet? Because I need people to help me be consistent. And so I do that for my clients. And then I think that the way to build consistency is one step at a time. So if Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're in the game, and maybe Thursday you drop off, don't get all in your head about, oh, I dropped off. Get back on it, either Thursday evening or Friday morning. And eventually that consistency will come. And just how we make goals in our business, we also need to make the same type goals for our health.
Life is a series of being on track and off track. on track and off track. And today is your January 1st. You're right back on track. Welcome, by the way. I'm so excited for you. When we come back in less than 2 minutes, we're going to be speaking to Dr. Jerrica Dodd, and we're doing rapid fire. And I love rapid fire because there's questions on my mind, and she's going to answer them. She don't know what they are because I don't know what they are, but we'll be back in just a moment. We're going to go over to the one and only Rob Howes. He says, be present where you are. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Take it away.
Hey guys,
All right.
me and Daddy are here.
All right, I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission to empower and to inspire and provide you with all the resources you need to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And now we're going to rapid fire. And I love rapid fire. And the first question on my mind really is, what's a lesson, I'll say, that you learned from one of your mentors along this journey that you can share with us that's going to help us?
So one of the lessons I learned from a mentor when I was earlier in this journey was that it is important to collaborate and partner and hire people that share the same values as you. So I was in the midst of a contract that wasn't going well, and I could not figure out why it wasn't going well. The other party or the other entity said that they brought everything that they had to the table. I brought everything that I had to the table, but it still wasn't working out. And what I realized when I stepped back and had a mentor take a look at the situation was that we had different values. It didn't mean they were bad, I was good, or I was bad and they were good. Didn't mean that at all. It just meant that we valued different things. And so that's why it really wasn't the best match. And so I learned to not just look for someone who can get the job done, but do we meet in the middle with regard to what we value?
You know, if you could admire one person in business, and there's so many folks, past, present, or maybe someone you've admired online, who would it be, number one? And what's one of the lessons or characteristics that we can take from that person as viewers that are watching right now? And these are questions, ladies and gentlemen, once again, they're just the top of my head. She didn't give me a list of questions I had to answer, so we're just having a conversation, and I'm curious.
I think that I would say that the person that comes to my mind, and probably because we had a conversation just before this interview, is my professional business coach. And knowing her story and what she has built has been amazing. And to show that, again, mindset is very, very important. And so no matter where you are, no matter what your story is, it's your story. And there's a place in the world for your story. And so that has probably been the biggest thing that I've learned, because number one, I didn't realize how important sharing my story was or is. And so now every opportunity that I get to speak, to share, I share my story. And even though, most people can't relate and say, oh, I've had brain surgery too, or whatever, but they still can relate with regard to putting your health and taking charge of your health, and either they need to or they already have. And so I would say my current business coach.
Fantastic. And how do you handle getting out of your comfort zone?
Ooh, getting out of your comfort zone. It is important to just feel the fear and do it anyway. That's the title of a book. And so I am so used to being uncomfortable that it's actually become a little comfortable being uncomfortable because I feel that everything that I've gone for, everything that I've wanted, has been on the other side of my comfort zone. So the comfort zone where I was when before I made the decision to become an entrepreneur, that is a totally like I don't even reside there anymore. And you'd be amazed at the things that have happened since I stepped out of my comfort zone. And so I run in the uncomfortableness of business, of life, because I've found that it's been the most rewarding in that space.
Sure. Second to last question. I'm thinking about what book you may have read or a movie you may have watched that may have had a significant impact on you. Now, you can't take the good book, okay? Putting a good book to the side, okay? That's in a category all by itself. So what's a book or movie that's really changed your life?
So I'll tell you the one of the most recent that I saw just towards the end of last year was The Joker. And many people may say, oh, it's really dark, but it really shed light on mental illness and the problems with mental illness that's just sent through the system or just checked off, as a checklist. And I have personal experience in supporting family members with that have had, mental illness challenges. And it's amazing how mental illness is just ignored or just kind of, treated like that problem over there. And that movie to me really, if you look at it from that perspective, it really highlighted the plight of those with mental illness. And it was really unfortunate to see, the gentleman be kind of shuffled along through his life, but not really get the help that he needed.
Yeah. What does Dr. Jerrica Dodd do for fun when she's not out saving the world?
I love to travel, and I just came back a couple of months ago. I was gone for about 8 or 9 days to Thailand.
Wow.
And I had the most fun in the dirty brown river with the elephants and just had an awesome time there. Climbed a waterfall up and down. And so I love to travel and I love to go see how other cultures, how other people live. Because I think that when you get out of your four walls and you go see how the rest of the world lives, it gives you so much perspective about the world and about your own life.
Wow. Thailand. Wow, that must have been some type of fun.
Yeah.
I've never climbed the waterfall, but I would love to see that video. That sounds cool. When we come back, by the way, we're going to ask Dr. Jerrica Dodd if she'll share her final thoughts, her final comments. You can find her over at yourpharmacyadvocate.com. And encourage you all to open up a browser right now. What's up, Vivian? What's up, Katisha Patisse? What's up, Tracy? What's up, Robert? Go over to the site, yourpharmacyadvocate.com. She advocates for your health, for CEOs and for leaders and for everyday folks, by the way, who have an interest or a desire to live in a long, happy, vibrant, healthy life. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to go over to Letitia Nicole and what appropriate word she has to say. Take control. You can do this. So true. So true. We'll be
Hey, it is your girl Letitia Nicole, CEO founder of Speak Life Enterprises, where we teach powerful words to entrepreneurs like yourself to shape your reality. Well, before I get started with my thought of the week today, I want to send a huge shout out to Shay Brown, the CEO founder of this amazing group of happy entrepreneurs. Hey, Shay, thank you so much for allowing me to speak life to your group. So the word and the thought of the week is taking control. Now, oftentimes we give a foothold to things that weigh us down, like guilt, shame, resentment, worry, and doubt and bitterness. Now, these things can come naturally. The problem is when we allow them in, they take up space that should be reserved for good things like joy and peace and confidence and creativity. But the negative can't come in automatically and take over unless we allow it. So, I have a challenge for you. You have control over negative thoughts and emotion. So grab hold and take control. You have to make a choice and say, I am not going to give space to negativity and let it poison my life. I won't let an offense make me sour and bitter. I want you to take inventory of what you're giving place to, because life is way too short to go through it with negative things holding you back. So take control of what you allow inventory in your life. All right? My name is Letitia Nicole, and until next time, take control. See you later.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission to inspire, to empower, and provide you with the resources necessary to really execute that vision that you have. It takes resources, it takes revenue, and it takes your health. You know, think about it. No matter how rich you are right now, you can buy anything you want. But if you wanted better health, if you wanted to instantly buy additional health, it's the one thing you can't buy. You can take care of it, you can maintain it, but they can't buy more health and they can't buy more time. So you want to spend as much of the time you have with the best health you have. And the person that can advocate for you, no matter where you are, they can be your pharmacy advocate. You won't find her behind a counter with a white smock on that doesn't want to talk to you, just waving at you saying, it'll be ready in 15 minutes. Come back. No. She's the person that is up close and personal. And I wanted y'all to be introduced to this because this is a game changer. I mean, this is a game changer. And so I want to thank Dr. Jerrica Dodd for spending time with us. I want to thank Dr. Jerrica Dodd for having a heart to give and a heart to serve. And I want to thank her for tackling a very difficult subject. Again, you know, money and health aren't some of the subjects that people run around bracing and hugging and loving with. But if we all put that mirror and we look at it, there's one thing that all superstars hold. There's one common belief that all superstars hold. And all superstars hold the belief. Do you know what it is? I'll tell you. They can always get better. So I'm making a commitment to get better in my health. I'm making a commitment to raise my standards, all because of Dr. Jerrica Dodd. So thanks a lot. We appreciate you. We got to have you back on. And I want to turn over to you to have your final thoughts, to encourage or inspire or just share with the audience as they have to leave. They won't have you here cheering, go, 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 go. And these lights are going to go off. And they've got a mission. And they've got to accomplish it. Thank you again so much. We appreciate you. We will definitely have you back. We need a pharmacy advocate. And you're a woman. And you're a sister. And you're just a bad mamma jamma. Thank you.
Well, first off, I just want to thank all the members of the audience. I've been hearing you call out, some of the names of the viewers. And so I just want to thank the audience for tuning in tonight. Thank you for every like, every heart, every comment. For those who've gone over to the website, I appreciate you connecting. I'll look forward to reaching out and connecting further. If you haven't, I look forward to you joining the others who have. Go to that website and hit contact and definitely reach out. And Shay, I just want to say thank you to you. I know we've been trying to get our schedules aligned for a while, and I just want to thank you for the opportunity to share my mission, share what I have going on, and to even just have this dialogue with you. So I appreciate that. And my final thought that I will leave, because as I said, most CEOs and leaders don't think of their health as their most important asset. So the final thought that I'll leave is that your health is the most important asset. So as you are making goals for your quarter or for your year, for your business, for whatever entity you lead in, don't forget your health. And it's very important. Like you hire an expert to take care of your taxes. You hire a mechanic to take care of your car. Hire an expert to help you take care of your health. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have much at all. You don't have anything. You won't reach the revenue goals, the client goals. You won't reach those goals if you don't have your health. So make sure that your health is a priority. And as we talked about earlier, make it your January 1st moment to start with the next step of doing whatever you need to get the right people on board to help you manage your health.
Help you manage your health, because today is your January 1st. How true is that? Today is your January 1st. You get a restart, you get a rebirth, and Dr. Jerrica Dodd has laid it out there. And most of you probably wonder what an LL Cool J, a pharmacy advocate is. Well, she's now shared what it is. She shared why she exists, and she shared how she can help every single one of us. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments that she mentioned. Thank you for hitting the share button. And thank you for getting up every single day to go out there and be an entrepreneur and make a difference. I want every one of you to know that today is your January 1st. You can get your health right. Today is your January 1st. You can eat the right food. Today is your January 1st. You can get the right exercise. And today is your January 1st because Dr. Jerrica Dodd can help you navigate the waters and facilitate the conversations between the multiple doctors that you may have to have or have and the medicine that you're using. That's a good feeling. With that being said, every single one of you, look below the video and write, today is my January 1st. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. And I wish every single one of you success. Dr. Jerrica Dodd, you rock. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Check.
Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Man.
Got money on my mind, I can never
Man.
get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause all I do is win. If you doing it, put your hands.
Thank you. God bless.